Welcome to SpearNation Radio Show here live here from the Land's Restaurant in Dunbar, Tennessee. How are we doing today, Jake? What's going on today?
Doing great.
We're also going to open up the phone lines right now, so you can call us at 423-582-7906. And Jake, what's that number again?
423-582-7906.
Also tweet us on Twitter at the Spear Sports. We'll be glad to answer any of those questions. All this coming up and more on this week's edition of SpearNation Radio. Here's Jake Tibbs, your Land's Restaurant Weekend Sports Recap. Jake?
In girls soccer, the Lady Indians would host Jackson County Tuesday night to the tune of a 5-0 victory. Bailey Adams would have yet another hat trick on the season. Both Natalie Childress and Ashton Young would have a score apiece. On Thursday, the Lady Indians would host again, this time the Ray County Eagles. Regulation would end with a 1-1 tie, but these two teams are bitter rivals, so they wanted a clear winner. The match would go to penalty kicks. After the first set, the score would still be tied, but with the end of the second set, the Lady Eagles would win after a missed shot by Bailey Adams, making the score 2-1. Adams would also have the only goal in regulation. Friday night, the Indians football team would play Stone Memorial in Crossville, Tennessee. The Indians came out strong, but faded away early in the fourth quarter as the Panthers would take it 37-21. It was the pinkout game for Stone Memorial. And that's our weekend sports recap, brought to you by Land's Restaurant, Southern Country Cooking.
Thank you, Jake. And now we have a trivia question for the week. What is Sequatchie County's overall record versus Notre Dame since joining District 7 AA in 2009? Again, that trivia question is, what is Sequatchie County's overall record versus Notre Dame since joining District 7A in 2009? Have any idea on that one, Jake?
I'm going to guess 1-4.
That just a little bit later. Right now, though, I do believe we're going to take a short break. And we're going to take a short break right now. We're going to, with the local artist Sean Cooley, his new EP Enigma comes out today. Check out his Facebook page for details on how to get it. It is a free download right now, so get it while it's hot. Here's a single off of that EP called Let 'Em, featuring Illumina. Check it out.
Let him in, I'm gonna let him in, about to put the lead in him like I'm gonna name anyone better than me. Top notch, not turn a whip with a drop top, and I got the top spot evidently, you ain't seen the evidence, it's evidence, and you're paying for every dent that I throw down, but it goes down, and now it's so hard to beat us. Some of these people act sheepish, we'll pull it over their eyes, tell them all they can spar with a demon. I never made a move without a reason, why? Cause I gotta be ready to defend my work. And everybody working for the season, but I'm in it for the long haul. Double up, never cut, that's all y'all, not mine. Drop hotlines when I write my burst of a Dutch and a quartz and a limelight. I can body anybody that wanna get a piece of this, and you really need to quit eventually. You see the all my enemies get done up, one up, work from night till sun up. Fighting these rappers and all of them about to get sunned up. Hold up, you can catch me on the road, alright? Let them talk and let them hate, cause it gets sold, alright? Got a finger for the critics I can show, alright? So when we come back to the city, we gon' go all night. I've been chillin' all day. Let them talk, let them hate, let them. I've been chillin' all day. Let them talk, let them hate, let them. Look, yeah. I've been chillin' all day. Let them talk, let them hate. I'm just trying to be the dopest. I'm just trying to make a way. I'm just trying to be the one doing something that they can't. I'm just trying to let that money talk. I'm trying to break the bank. I've been chillin' all day. Let them talk, let them hate. I'm just trying to be the dopest. I'm just trying to make a way. I'm just trying to be the one doing something that they can't. I'm just trying to let that money talk. I'm trying to break the bank. Back get it like an ad-lib. Get it? No cap, I can flat bills. Fit it? No doubt, I got mad skills. Living at it, running back like a backfield Smith. Damn it, what you know about a kid from the six? They was laughing at me, calling me a hick. They got it right, I'm a redneck, and they can tell that, cause I eat my beans cornbread mix. I'm on fire. My flow need a fire. I've never been the type to roll green, smoke trees to get wild going. I don't need a bonsai. Let me get it, I promise I get it poppin'. I probably on the top of them, rapping and running. I gotta give me another hit, I'ma be there. Let me be clear, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Back with a rap, got a knack for the facts. I'm that rapper sitting in the back of the class. Now rapping, don't make them blue and black on the track. I got drop over like a cannon, they lack. A real individual, reaching this pinnacle, then I'ma blow. Yeah, I be spiritual, kill every syllable, live on like wow. Yes, man, might be that kid who be rapping. West Kid make you wanna have this happy. Total package, present for the laughter, but now they ain't laughing. Then I'ma give the rapper, but it really don't matter. I put them on my platter, I send them upstream without a paddle. But I'm still hungry, so I'm eating every rapper. Never mind, I call them actors. Never mind, I call them faggots. My bad if that's offensive. See, the thing is, I can't apologize. I can't turn back. I'm already 20 bars in it. Ain't that a challenge? Y'all need a triple beam to find the balance. Y'all don't understand that this is war, so what you doing? Bringing that weak ammo to the battle.
And we're back on SpearNation Radio. What's the name of the song, Jay?
I liked it a lot. Sounded real good.
That comes off of his new album, Enigma, drops at 5 p.m. today. Check it out. Free download. Why not get it, you know? Now we'll get to the week ahead in sports. Jake, you got that for us, don't you?
Yes. Tuesday, girls soccer plays at Notre Dame at 6 p.m. Central Time for the semifinals of the District 7A/AA tournament. Signal Mountain and CCS will play for the other spot. Jackson County forfeited the first round game against Sequatchie. If they win against Notre Dame, they'll play for the district championship. We will update you if that happens on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Friday, high school football will host Notre Dame High School for a pink out game, sponsored by several businesses in town. All proceeds from the tailgate at 4 p.m. before the ball games go to Sequatchie County Cancer Network. The game starts at 7 p.m. this Friday night. This has been your Week Ahead in Sports, brought to you by Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
Thank you, Tibbs. And talk about games and all that. Soccer been doing pretty good this year.
Definitely.
How do you think they'll fare against Notre Dame this Tuesday?
I'd say it'll be a close game, but we can pull it off.
It's definitely possible to pull it off. And a lot of people are already doubting them, but you know, it's definitely possible. They play their best ball. Notre Dame has a little bit of a slip up. They'll be fine. But they've been pretty good past 3 games.
Yes, they have.
And they've actually lost to Ray County. But and the reason we talk about Ray County, they're really, really big rivals. Of course, there's no Coach Chapman tells you that he's like, there's no Bledsoe in girls soccer, or at least not yet. And so Ray County and White County have been their big rivals. Both those schools are bigger than Sequatchie County, way bigger, but they still have the same skill level as the Indians. So, talk about the game Friday night. We were up there broadcasting. First time broadcasting live. How'd you like that?
It was a lot different of an experience of the game. New, fresh take on it. My thoughts on the game. Out of the gate, we started real strong, I thought. We were doing great by halftime, I thought. But, start of the second half, a few slip-ups, a couple of mistakes, some penalties. Just didn't work out for us in the end.
And you talk about that game, pretty, I guess you could say it was pretty even until about the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it wasn't a lot of crowd for the Indians to work with either. Tribe, they were pretty big numbers. They're actually in bigger numbers than Stone Memorial, but it's such a long drive up there that even with the pet bus, it's kind of hard to even.
Yeah, some people are still out of town too for fall break.
Yeah, fall break and this, and that does contribute to it. You think fall break had anything to do with the preparation for the Indians?
Maybe, like you could see it as like lackadaisical about practice, maybe just not in the groove of things.
Practice during the morning hours instead of like the afternoon like they used to. So, talk about the game Friday night. Tibbs, you got something to say about that, don't you?
I do?
You do, just not in regular talk show form.
Oh, that is correct.
That is correct. Welcome to Jake's Poetry Corner. Coming up. Jake,
Explain haikus.
And what Jake's going to do is going to explain something before he lets his poems. And Jake.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Today's poems, we have two of them. They are haikus, which is a Japanese form of poetry. It's a 3-line poem. The first line is 5 syllables, the second 7 syllables, and the third 5 syllables again. It's a really old form going back probably a millennium or possibly even further.
Alright. So here we go. Tibbs, play the music and we'll take off.
The Indians lose, but not without a hard fight. Friday, we shall win.
Nice, Tibbs. Nice. And that's not the only one you got for us today, is it?
That's correct. I have one more.
There are two sides to Jake's Poetry Corner. Here we go. Poem number 2.
You should fear the spear. I am a proud Indian. We're on the warpath.
Nice. So I have a question. Where do you get your inspiration for these poems?
Off the top of my head, just think about life in Sequatchie County, being part of the student body. It just comes to me.
And that has been this week's edition of Jake's Poetry Corner.
We gotta come up with a better title.
Jake's Poetry Corner, we do snap instead of clap. So, yeah. So, that guy Friday night, there were some things that, me and you personally had some hard times getting even started Friday night.
There was a lot of technical difficulties.
What about that?
Well, for one, we were guaranteed a spot in the press box,
Earlier in the week.
but there were some difficulties, and we thought we were going to have to set up outside, so we hunted for a tent for a while. We got a tent. We tried.
Finally, after about, we didn't even start. We didn't even start putting our equipment and start hooking it up until right at game time. We're used to having like a 30-minute game show.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have that. And we didn't even get really started with the broadcast until the second quarter.
Yeah. Well, we tried setting up our tent. The wind was ferocious. It kept blowing it up and down and everything. It didn't work.
The guy that was helping us with he was the another radio broadcaster from Stone Memorial. He's he tried to help us as much as he could. But he got a tent for us, and he finally got a tent out there, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get you some bags. And I was like, okay, something to put away the tent down, because if not, it would have blown right off the side of the stadium.
Right.
So we go and get that, and we're good to go. You know, it's going to be a little bit cooler and windy, but we're okay with it. We get out there, and he comes back at us and says, all right, we don't have anything to put that tent down. We don't have anything tied down or anything. I'm like, that's not good. I said, well, we can manage that. He said, but there's also something else. I said, oh dear, what's that? He said, we don't have extension cords to run out to you. And that would be a lesson for me. I'll start bringing extension cords, honestly.
Yeah.
But we had some hardships, and then we finally got in there. We had this little phone booth size spot to put all our equipment on.
Yep.
And then we had trouble. Finally, of course, you know, we run the radio show off of a hotspot on my phone. So we had to put it down and do this and do that. And We tried to get it going, and that just didn't work. So I had to put it on top of the press box and let it get a little bit wet. But that's how we got a radio show to you Friday night. Yeah, but that's how we had the radio show Friday night. Yeah. So if you're wondering why in the second quarter, why wasn't the second quarter, what's going on with that, that's why.
Yeah,
it's not too much of a drop up there, though, was it?
it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I thought it'd take a lot longer, but the drive moved fast.
Especially when you have Tibbs talking.
Uh-huh.
Because he'll bore you to death and put me to sleep. We almost came off the side of the mountain.
Whatevs.
Anyways, high school football this week. The Stone Memorial Squatchy game, man, that was pretty much the only one this week that was interested other than the Boyd Buchanan South Pittsburgh game. Boyd Buchanan beat South Pittsburgh 28-22. And
wow, that's a.
And that will be their second win of the season.
I figured if they won, it'd only be like 3. Wow, that surprises me. Shows we need to kind of step up in our game against Boyd Buchanan, since we only beat South Pitt by 3.
Yeah, and that is an interesting thought. Because later in the season you get, the better the team gets.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
Yeah, you're getting into your groove. You're getting used to things. You're getting more experience.
Sometimes you see teams that they'll lose their groove about halfway through the season. They just keep getting worse and worse and worse. But for the most part, teams will get better and better as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not much better, maybe substantially better, but still better. And comments on those scores?
Like I said, the Boyd Buchanan surprises me a bit. What was the other one?
That was the Stone Memorial Squatchy game.
Oh.
If you're looking at it from an outside perspective, how do you look at that game?
How much did they beat us by last year?
They beat us by 3, I believe, last year.
Okay, so it's a bit of improvement. Stone Memorial, it's a big school, 5A, so I'd say we held up. That's all right.
Pretty all right. They're not the best 5A school, but they're also not,
the worst.
Barely hanging on to a playoff spot. They pretty much got one now.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of playoff spots, we'll get to that in just a minute, but I want to talk about the SpearNation Football Power Rankings. We released those this morning on SpearNation, on SpearSports.com. If you haven't had a chance to see that yet, then we'll give them to you right here. And I'll have a little bit of explanation for those rankings. And here we go. First on the list, we'll go from the bottom up. Just missed this week. Boyd Buchanan 2-5. They had one vote. They've not had a vote any time this season. They finally have one vote. Lookout Valley has no votes to get in the top 10, and they just missed this top 10 for the SpearNation Power Ranking. So, number 10 team in this ranking. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Actually, it's an imitation of the drum roll from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Shout out to that movie. Can't wait till it's time to watch it.
Oh my God!
It's a wonderful film.
We just need to have a film segment on this show.
I could carry it.
Anyways, number 10 on your countdown this week is South Pittsburgh. They're 3-4, 2-0 in District 1A. They lost to Boyd Buchanan this week, 28-22. Next up, they're at Lookout Valley, who is 1-5 on the season. And now we have, and number 9 is Bledsoe County, 3-4, 0-3 in District. Week 7 result. They had a bye week. Next up, they go to Grundy County. And Grundy County goes, of course, they stay at home, host Bledsoe. They were also on a bye week, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Grundy and Bledsoe had a bye week before their game against each other. I'm actually interested to see that game because I think they'll be pretty even.
It should be. I think that should be a pretty good game.
Yeah. Next up, number 7 on the list, and this is it's going to shock some people. But number 7 on the list is Sequatchie County. 3-4, 1-2 in district. Week 7 result, they lost 37-21 to Stone Memorial. They got Notre Dame at home next week for the Pink Out game. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. Whitwell is number 6 on your list. This is the highest ranking they've been on the rankings so far this season. They're 4-3 on the season, folks. Whitwell has a better record than Sequatchie County at the moment. I don't know what's going on. It's starting to storm outside. I thought I saw a lightning strike as soon as I said that, but it's getting.
It's like a twist inning. Dun dun dun. Well, it's like I heard a guy say a few months ago. It's like a little brother who's tired of getting picked on. He's stepping up, wanting to play with the big boys.
I don't know if they'll get in the playoffs or not. They have a pretty good chance of getting in them, but they will be third in that. They will be third in that district automatically.
Yeah.
They'll be in that. The game between Marion County and South Pittsburgh will determine. And the game between South Pittsburgh and Marion County will determine that District 6A matchup. And but Whitwell will be third, and they won 46-12 versus Clay County. Blew their opponent out, and Clay County was the former coaching destination for Chad Barger, but he is now in Coca-Cola Creek, and he was a former Indian coach as well. Sell Creek is Whitwell's opponent next week at home. Number 5 on your rankings, Chattanooga Christian, 4-3, 1-2 in district. Week 7 result, 39-0 win versus Silverdale Academy. And they play Signal Mountain at home this coming week. Stone Memorial's 5-3, 2-1. Of course, they won 37-21 versus Sequatchie County, and they have a bye week coming up this week. Also with a bye week, Marion County, they're 7-1 on the season, number 3 in your power rankings, 3-0 in district. Week 7 result, 43-7 win over Copper Basin.
Where's that? Where's that at?
It's out in East Tennessee. It's over there, I believe, in Polk County is where I believe it's at. I could be wrong, but I think it's in Polk County. Somewhere over near that area, somewhere toward Cleveland, somewhere out there. Number 2 on your rankings, Signal Mountain, 6-1, 2-1 in district. That only loss coming to Notre Dame. Week 7 result, they had a bye week, and next up they play at Chattanooga Christian. Notre Dame 6-1, 3-0 in district, beating Signal Mountain, and that was 2 weeks ago when they did that. They played Polk County this past week and won 49-0 versus.
Who beat Notre Dame in that one loss?
It was I believe it was Knoxville Catholic. I believe that's who they were also the Fighting Irish. So Fighting Irish beat the Fighting Irish. So.
Fighting Irish Fighting Irish?
Anyways, they play at Sequatchie County this coming week. And that has been your Week 8 power rankings from Spear Nation.
Is it just me, or is Fighting Irish a really weird name for a team? Why not just call you the Irish? Why Fighting Irish?
Well, I don't know. I really don't. That's kind of interesting.
Or the Crimson Tide should just be the Tide.
Yeah.
That's like calling us the Orange Volunteers.
Yeah, I know. It's strange. I mean, it's kind of strange. It's weird to see at one point. But what do you think of those rankings, Jake? Any opinion? Anything you would change there?
Not really. I think I agree with it all.
At least for this week.
For this week, everything could change next week. Who knows? Sell Creek might be at the top.
Jake, I think I'm gonna fire you after today. That's
That statement might be blasphemy.
That statement it is blasphemy. That's what it is. So you're just oh my god, that's not even right. Not even right. So anyways, what's hot on SpearSports.com this week? Check it out for your daily updates in the Indian sports world. What's hot on the SpearSports.com this week? Here are your headlines. Keys to the game, Stone Memorial. Lady Indians in regular season look toward district tournament. Spear Nation Week 7 preview, Avenging the Broken Commander.
Nice and dramatic.
And those are your leading headlines for this past week. Join us this Friday for broadcasting versus Notre Dame in the Pink-Out game this Friday. Tailgating starts at 4 p.m. All proceeds from that go to the Sequatchie County Cancer Network, and should be a fun time at Sequatchie County High School.
Hey, come out and support it. Help support the Cancer Network. All the help we can get. Good cause. Show your support.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's something that a lot of local businesses are taking support of, and I do appreciate that.
It's great.
And if you want to support that even more, go on Facebook and like Sequatchie Goes Pink on 1017. That's the page on Facebook. Go like it, and you should. So anyways, got any Twitter questions, Jake?
Allow me to check.
You better check. I don't think we do, though.
I may be wrong, but I doubt it. It's quite thundering, quite loud out there, I must point out.
If you're listening right now, we appreciate you call in at 423-582-7906. And Jake, that number is again
423-582-7906.
Without you, we wouldn't have a show. So
exactly.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break, real quick, and a quick break, real quick, yeah. And this is Sean Cooley, Purple Nation, coming right at you.
SC on the hat, we purple all the way. We live to fight and we fight to live every day. Ambition way it's on, heavyweight. The prison has begun. Celebrate, and when you celebrate, remember what we went through. Just keep the struggle on behind you, homie, rear view. Sometimes you gotta keep shouting until they hear you. And when they hear you, homie, you gotta seize the moment. Just know the echoes to our level focus, now we own it. Purple flow is a flag on your river bonnet. We've been ill for a long time, they lose a chronic. They mad that ain't until no more. Supersonic, how ironic. We quit you, homie, tie cob. We too tough to handle, so they call us knob. About to drop a Hiroshima atomic bomb. Got that hustle hard flow, Joe Bob. Down on the beat, but I'm about to speak the lyrics up. Looking around on the map and there ain't one team who ain't fearing us. This ain't no fun, they get no joke, why so serious? Purple go be in our veins on yellow, curious. Yeah, we get nation, but we ain't red. We bleed purple and sweat goes, enough said. Mess with us and you'll be dodging bullets, high lead. Sweet dreams put you asleep, no bed. Yeah, off the wall we play hard, purple never fall. Rising to the top, I'm looking down on all of y'all. We never stall. My correction, we chew you up, spit you out, disc injection. They want a question, we on the dark side. Check my complexion, never touch an eye. Pride, purple depression, I see it each stride. We tend to give them goosebumps, R.L. Stein. This was for that Purple Nation. Sequatchie County, Tennessee. Never get close with us, baby.
In one of them old farm towns where they hit it hard till the sun goes down. Nobody really seemed to care that we were living in the middle of nowhere. We just figured that's how it was, and everybody else was just like us, soaking in the rain, baking in the sun. Don't quit till the job gets done. That's the only way I know. Don't stop till everything's gone. Straight ahead and never turn around. Don't back up, don't back down. A full throttle, wide open. You get tired and you don't show it. Dig a little deeper when you think you can't dig no more. That's the only way I know.
That old red dirt, the first thing you learn is you don't get nothing that you don't earn. Humble pride I grew up on. You find out just how bad you want it.
The sun in our eyes and backs to the fences. We didn't know the odds were against us. Hit the wall, smoking and spinning. Still wasn't thinking about nothing but winning. That's the only way I know. Don't stop till everything's gone. Straight ahead and never turn around.
Don't back up, don't back down.
A full throttle, wide open. You get tired and you don't show it. Dig a little deeper when you think you can't dig no more. That's the only way I know.
Maybe there's another path that'll get you there a little bit faster, but I'm sticking with the one inside of me.
That's the only way I know.
Don't stop till everything's gone.
Straight ahead, never turn around.
Don't back up, don't back down. A full throttle, wide open. You get tired and you don't show it. Dig a little deeper when you think you can't dig no more. That's the only way that's the only way I know. Don't stop till everything's gone. Straight ahead and never turn around.
Don't back up, don't back down.
A full throttle, wide open. You get tired and you don't show it. Dig a little deeper when you think you can't dig no more. That's the only way I know.
That's the only way I know.
That's the only way I know.
The only way I know.
Oh, get on it one time.
And we're back on SpearNation Radio show. I'm sorry. So, college football this week. What do you think?
College football?
Yeah.
I only watched one game. I mean, I only watched Tennessee games, but I liked it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I expected the turnout. I mean, how could you not expect kind of a blowout against Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Entertaining game, of course. UT's quarterbacks rushed a lot better. I will say that. Worley did really well, but I mean, like, again, what can you expect when he's playing Chattanooga?
Yeah, I actually got to go to the game yesterday up in Knoxville. Pretty interesting experience.
Were you rooting against your school?
I was kind of at a conflict almost. I want UT to win, of course. I think what I really want was UT to win, and I wanted UTC to score a touchdown. That's about it.
And they did score a touchdown.
They did score a touchdown. They did score a field goal. I was glad for that. I think that's what I really, really wanted to see. So it's all good.
Mississippi State, of course, did pretty well.
Yeah, they did. They showed pretty strongly.
Upset Auburn. I only saw portions of that game.
Hey, let's look at the scoreboard for this week in college football. Or at least in the SEC, if I can pull that up. Yeah. And let's see. Got a question on the Spear Sports on our Twitter thing. How about Todd Gurley? What about him?
Who asked the question?
Sydney Schultz.
Thanks for listening, Sid. Yeah, I think I heard on Twitter a Georgia fan who I shall not name, but he's really tall, and we call him Flappy. You all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he said it's a bunch of bull, and he still bleeds red and black.
I think I saw this. There are completely different opinions on everything. But there was something I saw in the Chattanooga Free Press today where fans were, reaching out. They had the little editors, a letter to the editor things, and they were saying how on ESPN they would always say, and college game they would say, okay, they're thinking it's unfair for the player, but fans were like, well, he knew what he was doing was wrong, and he willingly did it, so maybe he should suffer the consequences.
Yeah. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
I think that's what that boils down to, and so Todd Gurley, I kind of think that they deserve what he's getting.
Yeah, I'd say. If you're gonna violate rules like that, you gotta prepare for the consequences if you do get caught.
Especially when you go to an SEC Division I school.
And do well.
If you're going to be a star on a team, you have to put up with that turmoil. I think sometimes it's kind of hard sometimes to see whether someone's actually, how'd you call it, trying to legitimately file the claim with the law about someone, or whether they're just trying to make a person look bad, like blackmail because they're famous now and they weren't at the time, or this or that. But you can't ever say, especially when something comes up out of the woodwork, like if it happened over a year or two before. Sometimes we have to look at that and think, okay, if it happened a year or two before, a lot has changed since then, yes. But you also got to think, they could be just trying to blackmail or something to that effect.
Yeah, I think. Do you think that if he wasn't as good of a player, the uproar would have been as much?
I believe that, and that's something you get when you get with American media. With a celebrity or a good player or a politician, several things you can do. It just goes to the fact that a regular average person, if a regular player on that team had done the same thing that he did, we might have heard about it, but we wouldn't have gone to extremes and be talking about it for about a week or two.
Right.
It's been unfortunate for Tennessee because of that. Because if you think about this, Gurley was suspended this past week after they played Tennessee. 2 weeks after they played Tennessee, and also Harris for Florida was also suspended this week. Not sure on the status of that, but I know he was at one point suspended or sent off the team, and that's got to be unfortunate for Tennessee because if both of those players are not in the game, Tennessee easily wins.
Yeah, there were two close games. You take those two players out, it's a win for Tennessee.
And they were shutting out Florida until Trey Harris came on there, and he was the one who won the game for them. And now he's suspended, and now Florida's without a good quarterback.
Yeah, that is disappointing. I wish this could have happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. What do you think about the comments Muschamp said about Tennessee after the game?
I don't know what they were.
Comments were something to the effect of, I'm glad to see Tennessee fans getting disappointed in their own stadium.
Well, yeah, the Vols have a very loyal fan base, so it says something if you can bring a Vol fan down. Because it always happens every other week. They're like, I'm done with Justin Worley. But then the next week, they're like, I'm so proud to be a Tennessee Vol.
And I think we're more proud to just be a Tennessee Vol. We're not particularly loyal to the players as much as we are the team.
It's the team itself.
And when I was in Knoxville yesterday, it was amazing to me that they were playing an FCS school. And albeit it was their homecoming, that they still had 93,000 fans in the stadium.
That's a lot.
They used to average about 89,000 a year. Not a year, but in a season they would average that. Since Butch Jones has gotten there, that attendance has went up substantially. And they're not to that. I don't think they're to that point yet, where they could say, "All right, we're a contender." Maybe not. They're not even to the point where they say they're an SEC contender. Of course, the SEC East is wide open right now. but it's gonna be another year or two. I think you got to give him some.
Yeah, they just need to. They don't need to give up on Butch. Just give him a little more time, and they'll be there.
And I think when a coach comes to Tennessee, like Dooley, we had faith in him, but as it went on, he wasn't getting any. I mean, when we first began Kingdom, we had faith. That's
Dooley, he got backlash from fans like crazy towards him.
And I think him and Lane Kiffin are probably the examples of. They're actually both of them are in the top 5 worst BCS hires in the BCS era.
Yeah, of course it's hard to fill Philip Fulmer's shoes.
It is, but he was going downhill.
Yeah, he was.
So why not go ahead and get? And he's actually coaching at ETSU right now, I believe.
ETSU?
East Tennessee State.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's back in coaching a little bit. But you'll see this a lot. We won't lash out against we'll lash out against coaches, of course, but we'll have a kind of a
Or Worley.
But,
oh my gosh!
What do you think about? I think it's 2 weeks. Tennessee plays Alabama at home. Kiffin comes back.
Tennessee at home?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it won't be as bad. Last year's Tennessee-Alabama game didn't turn out so well. I mean, Alabama is always a force to look out with, especially with Saban.
And Kiffin being there with Alabama.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Do you think any of the players on Tennessee right now have played for him?
Let's see. You have.
Would it be true seniors?
This is the second year of Butch Jones. This is this. Let's see. Let me think. If this is the second year of Butch Jones, you had 3 years of Dooley.
3 years of Dooley? Okay, so nobody has played for.
I think so. Let me double check that.
Because if any of those guys did play for Kiffin, it's going to be fire.
They may have been recruited by Kiffin.
Okay, well,
but they may not.
I know they still probably hate Kiffin.
Let's see. We have Butch Jones right now. Jim Chaney was an interim head coach when Dooley left. He was there 2010, 2011, 2012. So, yeah, 3 years. So, we're looking at anyways, that's 5 years. There's probably this senior class has probably been recruited by Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't doubt that maybe some of them know.
They got a little fire in them.
Because you got to think when you recruit somebody, then you just up and leave. A lot of times recruits will recruit for the coach. They'll go for the coach. They won't exactly go for the
school.
So I mean, it's kind of a tough. But then when coach leaves, it's kind of hard on them.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be hard for it not to be.
Yeah, because there's no clause saying, "Oh, you can go wherever that coach goes." You commit to the school, yes, but you're committing more to the head coach. So if he leaves, you're especially even before you've even got there and you've already committed and signed. That's
I'd be angry, so I'd say that should boost their motivation a bit, for sure.
Definitely. And so yeah, he was there. This senior class was probably the red shirts.
Mm-hmm.
No, the senior class and maybe a red shirt who was recruited by Kiffin. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big deal. I was actually debating with a friend of mine whether we should go to the Alabama game or not. He told me, he said, it'll be too crazy to go to the Alabama game. It's always nuts. It's always nuts, but there's always those crazy people that you just got to worry about, like you're going to get shot or something like that.
Yep. You got to look out, and all the Alabama fans might have their teeth, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'll tell you, it's interesting. If you've never been to a game at Neyland Stadium, you need to go. Whether you don't want to be the opposing team, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's done.
The atmosphere there is
the
just
atmosphere before the game, throughout the game, and then after the game is so much better than seeing it on TV. You can't compete with it. So, anyways, that's Tennessee football. Look at our scoreboard again.
How'd Alabama do Saturday?
Alabama won 14-13 against Arkansas.
Well, that's a close game.
Close game. What were your thoughts on that? Besides it being a close game, don't mean that.
I'd love to have seen Alabama lose twice this year. That'd be awesome.
You know, something in the SEC, we can all agree that we hate Alabama.
Yeah, but if they go to the BCS, everybody roots for them and hates Notre Dame or LSU. I don't get it.
Yeah. So we had Tennessee did win 45-10 yesterday. LSU won 30-27 against Florida, and Ole Miss won 35-20 over Texas A&M. Ole Miss, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, what'd you say the score was?
35-20. They beat Alabama last week.
Yeah, they're on a little streak here. I think that they could be a big contender by the end of the season. They're performing pretty well after that.
And with Mississippi State beating Auburn, do you think that could be a?
It's like a new ushering in of who's at the top.
Yeah, I mean,
we're seeing a bit of a change of who we've seen the past few years.
Yeah, with Mississippi State beating Auburn and Ole Miss beating Alabama, I think that really shows you that football's moving from Alabama to Mississippi pretty fast, folks.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's just what I've got from there. And wait a second. It says Ole Miss and Mississippi State are both ranked number 3.
How are they both ranked 3?
I have no idea. Let me check the rankings.
Ben's tweet.
And I don't see Mississippi State on the. I'm looking at the AP Top 25, and I've got Mississippi. It says AP Top 25. Of course, Mississippi State number 1, and I think this is last week. I'm sure. I think it's last week. Maybe this week. I'll check on that in just a few minutes. But this is Mississippi State's number 1, Florida State number 2, Ole Miss number 3, Baylor number 4, number 5, Notre Dame number 6, and 7 are Auburn and Alabama. Not used to being that low in the rankings.
That is a change. Like we said, Mississippi's stepping up.
Definitely. And that's mostly our college football for the week. And I want to talk about a little bit about the playoffs. Out of 32 teams that get in the playoffs, Sequatchie County is number 32 right now. If the season ended today, they would be in the playoffs by the grit of their team.
Cutting it close, ain't we?
Cutting it close. It's good, I mean, it's really, really, really close.
Okay, can we still lose this Friday and still be in the top 32?
It's possible, but we probably won't be after the loss. We'd have to beat Boyd Buchanan, and some people would have to lose. A couple people would have to lose some games, which is possible because usually you'll play your harder teams at the end of the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ones that are at least the ones that are usually in the playoffs, they'll play their harder teams at the end of the season because that's when they're better. So it's possible that they could lose. A couple of them could lose. Sequatchie County gets in by the skin of their teeth.
I hope we make it. That's for sure.
Right now, Grundy County is out.
If we would have beat them, it'd
be no contest. They would have been out 2-3.
I wish we would have beat them so badly.
Bledsoe County is above us, surprisingly.
By how much?
They're above us by 2, and that's interesting. That's very interesting because they are at the moment they are 3-4, and we're 3. They are. They're both the same record. We hold the tie against them, but they're ranked 2 spots ahead of us at number 30. We go up the list. Chattanooga Christian is number 25 in the ranking, or the standings for the playoffs.
Should have beat them.
Should have beat them. And Notre Dame is number 10. No surprise there. So Alcoa at number 8. I was going to keep an eye on this.
Mm-hmm. They're always a powerhouse.
Definitely.
Who's number 1?
CPA.
What's that stand for? Christian Preparatory Association?
Academy, I think. if, and only if, I think to get in the playoffs, certainly they have to beat Notre Dame and Signal Mountain. They could, if they beat one of them, it's possible that they could even host a playoff game. It's possible. Not likely, but it's possible.
But it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
But they have to win one of those games to get into the playoffs at all. I believe at this moment. It would be a long shot for them to lose to Signal and Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they beat Bull Buchanan is not going to matter that much. It's going to be a win, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to matter as much. If they beat Stone, they could easily. If they had beat Stone, they could end up 5-5. You can still get in the playoffs with a 4-6 record. I've seen teams get into. I've seen teams get into the playoffs with a 3-7 record.
Wow.
Those are usually 118. Anyway, that's where they stand right now, and Indians have 5 teams that are sitting at 500. Teams that are at 500. Teams they beat that are at 500 is 0. They've not been a team that has a winning record, that has even a neutral record.
Wow. I wish we would. Might help us out in the standings a bit.
Oh, definitely. So this week they got Notre Dame 6-1, think-out game. Next week they've got Boyd Buchanan, who is 2-5. They beat South Pittsburgh, and they'll also play at Boyd Buchanan. They'll play at Signal Mountain for the last game of the season. They're 6-1 as well, and that'll be a district game. And out of the 2 games, Notre Dame and Signal Mountain, who do you think they have a better chance against?
By the looks of it, Signal, since Notre Dame did beat Signal by quite a good margin. But I don't know, anything could happen.
And if you're going to talk about beating one of them, I would rather. Here's the deal. If you want to have any repercussions going anywhere, your best bet is to beat Signal Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Because you beat Signal Mountain, they got 2 district losses. You got 2 district losses. Well, you'll have 3. But it's possible that you could even get a second place in the district. It's not the most probable thing to happen, but it can happen.
I'd like to be Signal because of all the trash talk we could do on Twitter the following day.
Oh yeah. I think if y'all, let me tell you something. If the trial comes out full force like they did against Bledsoe County, there's a chance.
Anything could happen with that if that happened.
Yeah, and you got to think, since Signal Mountain started playing varsity football, Sequatchie County has not beaten them.
Came close one year.
Came close with 3. It was a 3-point. The closest it's ever got is 3 points, and then after that, it just never.
It got pretty bad.
The reason that was because they were ready to play South Pittsburgh. Because back in the day, when they would play South Pittsburgh, when they would try to play South Pittsburgh, that would be the game of the week. I mean, that would be the game of the area for the year. And then Signal Mountain started blowing South Pittsburgh out, and then it was like, okay, you know they're good, you know they're recruiting, and that's where all that came from.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they could legally recruit. They did get in trouble for a guy that was in Georgia, not in Hamilton County.
What was his name?
I think it was McClendon.
McClendon.
I think that was his name. Not sure. I don't want to say a name and it not be it.
He was from East Brainerd, wasn't he?
No, he was actually in Georgia.
Georgia?
He was in Georgia. He would drive up every day to go to Signal Mountain. But anyways,
Quite the gas money.
quite the gas money. But like if you are in Signal Mountain, you can. If you are in Signal Mountain, you can recruit. But you can only recruit within the county, and you can't bust into your school. So, I think it's interesting when you start to talk about those ideas about getting to the playoffs and getting not. And if they win against Notre Dame or Signal Mountain, they will definitely be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They can still get in with Boyd Buchanan, but they're not. It won't be up to them. They have to make themselves get to the playoffs. It's I forget how you say it, but it's make it where you play in the playoffs. Don't let things fall where they may, because if you let things fall where they may, you're not going to have a chance.
Right.
You don't want it to be by luck that you got in. Let it be because you won games.
Definitely.
So they're going to beat the team. It would probably be Signal Mountain. And I think Signal Mountain. And if it were to be Signal Mountain, they would have two district losses. We would have 3, so we would be third place in the district. Just by that token, well, we probably wouldn't be. We'd probably be 4th, maybe. I'm not sure.
When's the answer to our trivia question coming up?
Oh, the answer to our trivia question. That's a great point. People listening, you waiting for that. We'll tell you what that answer is. Sequatchie County has been its record against Notre Dame is 3-2.
I thought it'd be a lot worse. Whoops. I was thinking about saying 2-3. Wow. Huh. Guess you learn something new every day.
Oh yeah, you learn something new every day.
Well, let's keep the winning record, I say.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's the only time these two teams have really played since they got into the same district. So now look at the regional standings right now. And regional standings, Notre Dame is sitting up top. Signal Mountain is at number 2. Grundy County is number 3. Chattanooga Christian is number 4. Sequatchie County is number 5, and Bledsoe County is number 6. Now, if everything goes like it's supposed to, but Sequatchie County beats Signal Mountain, that would take Signal Mountain down to 2-2, and that would bring Signal Mountain to probably 3-2 because they have a game against Chattanooga Christian this week, and they would probably beat them, I would say. But it's not guaranteed. So I would say we could possibly get in 3rd or 4th place, but I'm not worried about district standing because there's no way right now, unless we beat Notre Dame and Signal both, that we're going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever, and 1st or 2nd in the district. And that's really what qualifies for the playoffs. I'm looking more at the playoff matrix. And out of 32, there are a total of 53 teams, and out of those 53 teams, 32 of them get to the playoffs.
I hope we can stick in there.
Yeah. And I think we might be able to. It'll be tough. It's
Yeah.
going to take some luck.
Yeah.
Whether that be because you didn't beat Signal Mountain and Notre Dame and you're waiting on someone else to stumble, or because you beat one of those two. This one takes luck, but they didn't. If they beat CCS and Grundy this year, you got to think they're 5 points away from being 2-0 and 0. They're 5 or 6 points away from being 0-2 and 2-0 in district at that point. I think if they win those 2 games, I know if they win those 2 games, they're in the playoffs automatically. But because they didn't play as well in those 2 games, they're not in the playoffs. Well, they are if the team today. But at the end of this season, I don't think they will be. It's certainly possible that they can be. It's going to take some luck, though. And this has been SpearNation Radio. I'm your host, Chandler Morrison, and this has been
Jake Tibbs.
And we're signing off from SpearNation Radio here live at Land's Restaurant, Southern Country Cooking. Go Indians.
And God bless.
Yes. We'll see you this Friday.